everyone, this video will be a quick review of the Our Agency channel on Reddit, of which I was an active part from the 2nd of January to the 19th of January in 2024. During these 17 days, I basically launched the second most popular thread of all time in the sub. And I'm going to go in a second to the sub so that we can sort by the most popular so that you actually see that. And probably if it wouldn't have been locked by the moderators and if it would have been allowed to run, and now it's completely blocked, but if it was allowed to run, probably it would have become the most popular. And I've made a lot of posts there during this time which have garnered 30 plus likes, very popular, and I acquired in basically 17 days 450 plus karma points. So very popular user. We're going to have a look at all of this just so that you can see everything here in today's review. So let's go to all time, and as you can see, the biggest one of all time is like 1.1k likes, right? And the second one, and ours, it was supposed to be here, but now the second one, because they've removed ours, is 173 upvotes, right? So with 919 upvotes, this was basically the second most popular. And judging objectively by the karma we've acquired and the overwhelming positive feedback from the community, and you can have a look through some of my basically top posts of all time. You can see 25 likes there overall, 7 likes there overall, 79 likes here, 52 likes here, and so on down the line. So very, very popular contributions, very good contributions, on point, not spammy, nothing of that sort. So judging just objectively by the numbers, I was probably the biggest contributor and force for good in the sub during the period I was active in, and probably totaled the combined gain karma during that time of the next 9 people behind me. So I helped countless agency owners. I didn't ask for anything in return, and obviously this attracted a lot of attention. Some of this attention not with positive intentions, as I will soon show you. Overall, I believe that basically the community has great potential, but it's poorly administered in what I see as the self-interest of the one that I believe is the active moderator there, the founder of discosloth.com, a man called Gildner. So he himself says that he was the only active moderator. So I'm just going to show you this in a moment. So he says, I am currently the only active mod. This is 24 days ago. And since then, about 20 days ago, compared to today being the 25th of January, he added another moderator, which he says here, new active mod. He's in a different time zone, blah, blah, blah. So it's a moderator of his choice, and just judging by what I see on the sub, this moderator also doesn't seem to be very active either. On the sub, Jill frequently talks about his marketing books, and he loves to mention how his marketing books are used as course syllabuses in universities. So this is one example here. This is another. And this is often done with the idea that somehow these books are not something that he sells or not something that's directly relevant to agencies. But here's just one example. So building a successful micro agency, a guide to starting profitable and sustainable digital marketing agencies. So this is clearly addressed to this target market, and he's clearly selling it. As you can see from the prices that he displays. So by his behavior towards us, which I will reveal in just a moment, Jill has basically shown that he has little interest in the well-being of the community beyond what I see as his self-interest, and doesn't seem to respect the values that Reddit as an organization stands for, namely inclusivity, diversity of opinion, honest and open debate, and freedom of speech. He seems to use the community as a loudspeaker for those interests, namely to position himself as an authority in the field of advertising agencies while telling you he has nothing to sell you, except obviously his books, and while preventing the positive contribution of other members whom he deems as personal competition to himself. This stops the community from growing and thriving and creates a toxic, discriminatory environment more resembling a dictatorship than a truly open forum, which is what Reddit is supposed to be. So his attitude towards me and towards us in this makes me think that he hates being seen as second best. And I will illustrate a vignette. I will share it with you right now from the official R agency Discord server. So I'm just going to go to this so that you see that the channel has an official Discord server. And we used to be a member here as well before Jill banned us, and we're going to get to that in a moment. But this vignette will illustrate the mindset that I'm talking about. So this is an exact conversation that we've had. And this conversation basically revolves around a conversation where one of the members in the Discord group, they check me out, they research me, and they research us and what we do. And they asked if we'd be open to hop on a call, right? So I told them, and I explained to them that unfortunately I have so many business related calls during a day that I just don't have time for a non-business related call. To which Jill immediately replies saying that he's extremely free, right? And he has nothing to sell him, except obviously his books, which he doesn't mention there. And he'd be more than happy to basically hop on a call himself. So as you can see, I mean, this is an attempt for him to obviously create a stark contrast and gain attention to himself based on what he's doing in the sub. And this is an attempt that ultimately failed, right? Because it failed to turn the respective contributor against us. And then on January 19th, 24, immediately after a Discord exchange that I will soon share, and despite obviously not breaking any rules of the sub, Jill has decided to ban us. And he banned us for this post. And I'm just going to show you the ban. So it's a permanent ban. So it's 5 days ago compared to today, basically when the ban happened. And it's a permanent ban from participating in our agency. And it says for your comment. And we're going to open this together so that you see exactly where it leads and what comment he actually banned us for. So this is the comment. You can see the comment is very well loved, right? It had 54 upvotes, and it talked about the agency industry and the challenges that people are basically facing within the agency industry. There is nothing self-promotional about this post. There is nothing that breaks the rules of the Our Agency subchannel, right? There is nothing at all that does any of these things. And yet for this post, we were banned, right? And our best contributions, not just this post, because I mean, you guys in the public, you can no longer see this post. It says that it's deleted by the moderators, right? But from our account, obviously, we can still see it. And the same with our other big contributions, which were removed. And it's in what we believe is a tool for Jill to silence any alternatives to him as a source of knowledge within the community. And despite obviously having no self-promotional elements, nor breaking any of the rules of the sub. So, I mean, you can see here the rules, right? So it says in the About section, which has now since been removed, but this is an older picture, it says a community for people working in digital advertising, creative design, PR agencies, no spam, self-help, self-promotion, get rich quick, or hustle guru culture allowed. And obviously join our Discord server. And this was sort of updated later in a thread, although this is not an official way to share rules, but it was updated here, so we still take this into account. No courses, be professional, self-promotion is not allowed, right? And we broke none of these rules, right? The post that we were banned for breaks none of these rules. It's professional. It talks about something that's relevant to agencies. It doesn't promote us in any way. It doesn't talk about us in any way, actually. But we were still basically banned for it. So, I mean, we can look back at the thread that we created, the second most popular in the sub of all time, right? And it had 900 plus total upvotes, and it has now been removed by Jill after he has locked it. And the claim is that he received a lot of spam reports from it. And he's only doing this because I happen to run a business that sells to other agencies, not because of the content of our posts, right? Because the content of our post is not self-promotional. But obviously, if people research us, right, like they type our username in Google, right, they're obviously going to find out that we run a business that helps other agencies. But what's the big deal with that, right? That's not self-promotion at all. So when I basically tried to speak with him in Discord, when he mentioned, because there was somebody in Discord who asked us, what sort of agency do you guys run? What do you do? Right. And so I told them, right, in the Discord server. And basically, this was the exchange there. Um, when I brought up the slippery slope of Jill's logic that, look, if I actually can't speak about my agency at all, right? Because even when asked, right, it's not about me going there to talk about my agency, right? It's more about when I'm actually asked, um, I need to be able to share these things, right? Because they're relevant. But if I can't even do that, then it doesn't make any sense for me. I mean, it's pretty much impossible for me to participate in the sub, right? So I basically explained that if I actually intended to promote myself, let's say by running Reddit ads that would target our agency, in addition to just normal participation and helping people out and doing what I would do normally, that would also have to be considered self-promotion by his standards, right? Because I'm there, people see that I'm helping other people, and then they also see my ads, right? So that makes no sense, right? Everybody can see that that makes no sense. And when I explained that, he was basically not interested in any sort of discussion, and he just banned me almost immediately. I mean, a few minutes after. And unfortunately, this doesn't speak well about Jill. And I'm not talking about his knowledge of the agency world. It's more like I'm talking about his character here, which in our opinion makes him unfit to perform his duties as guardian of this Reddit community. He has shown himself to be two-faced, swinging initially from praising our contributions, and I will show you that too, to treating us silently and then actually banning us. So let me show you where that actually is. So here, okay, so it's in this thread when he was seeking feedback on the channel, right? And we thanked him for doing this and sort of asked him exactly, what is actually considered self-promotion here, and what should we refrain from talking about and not talk about. And we actually obeyed everything that he asked us for here. But he says, hi there, as always, I would say it's a fine line. I have seen your posting here and they're always educational and to the point. So definitely the sort of value that people need to receive, right? So this is exactly why I say and why I believe that he is two-faced, right? Because first he says one thing, right? And then he turns around despite obviously nothing else happening in terms, because I mean, the content was just as popular as ever, and bans us, right? So this is not the right character for somebody who wants to run a public community that's open to everybody, a public forum that needs to be inclusive and needs to take in the contributions of anybody who has something valuable to say. So as a summary, the our agency community is large, and I believe it has great potential. I mean, I think there's like 17,000 people in here at the moment. But it needs a diversity of opinions and views that would spark lively debate and contributions from all members that obviously respect its rules. And the rules need to cease to be a weapon used by one man or a small clique to basically promote themselves or discriminate against others whom they deem as threats to their authority without any real motive. Okay, so currently our legal team is actually currently fighting, right, to obtain this outcome for all of us, protect the legacy that Reddit is building, and create a more inclusive forum where everyone who wishes to provide value can participate and without being slandered, banned, or having their loved contributions removed. So that's my overarching opinion and views on the Reddit channel. A lot of potential, but a lot of problems as well, and hopefully we will be able to solve those.